Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Shaft. It's a 2019 film. Just saw it in theater yesterday. It is rated R. It runs an hour and 51 minutes. It's directed by Tim Story. It stars Samuel L. Jackson, Jesse Usher, Richard Roundtree, Regina Hall, and Alexandra Shipp. Shaft is the next chapter in the film franchise featuring the coolest private eye on any New York City block. JJ, aka John Shaft Jr., may be a cybersecurity expert with a degree from MIT, but to uncover the truth behind his best friend's untimely death, he needs an education only his dad can provide. Absent throughout JJ's youth, the legendary locked and loaded John Shaft agrees to help his progeny navigate Harlem's heroin infested underbelly. And while JJ's own FBI analyst badge may clash with his dad's trademark leather coat, there's no denying family. Besides, Shaft's got an agenda of his own and a score to settle that's professional and personal. So, once I started hearing after I saw the movie that this was the second film or the next film, I was like, oh, I didn't know there was an original. So I might have to actually go back and watch that someday. But I kind of went into this kind of fresh, not knowing much about it. And I think it's okay that you don't see the original and you just go into this and experience it. I think it's one of those movies that just is like its own kind of goodness, and you don't have to be all educated about it. So it's kind of nice just to go in fresh. That's my first thing. Is I didn't I kind of knew what to expect from the commercials, but I didn't know anything about this being a franchise. So um, I'll just start off with the obvious that this is really funny movie. There's a lot of outrageous laughter throughout my theater the whole time. So I think there's going to be funny stuff for a certain kind of people. Like they're going to think that kind of stuff's funny, and everybody else is going to think it's stupid. And then there's a lot of stuff over here that people will think is funny or stupid. I don't think you're going to think the whole movie's great. I think you're going to have problems with parts of it. I think you're going to be bored with parts of it. I think you're going to be really, really funny upon, parts of it. So I don't think this whole movie is for everyone the whole time. I think that's the best way to say it for anyone kind of wondering. Is that it's a fine movie, but it's not, the whole thing is not continuously funny. There's funny parts at the end. There's funny parts at the beginning, but the middle is just kind of like. I'll get on to my next point with that. Is that this movie being an hour and 51 minutes, it seems like the middle goes on forever. I was sitting there enjoying myself, maybe for the first hour even, and then all of a sudden I was like kind of there, and I was like, after a while, I'm like, this movie's still going. It just in the middle, it just like it's trying to make everything credible. It's trying to get Samuel L. Jackson's storyline and JJ's storyline. It's trying to get everybody involved. It's trying to keep it moving, but it just doesn't work. And I think the biggest reason why is because of the acting. Like I could deal with their staleness. I could deal with the expected commentary. I could deal with all this stuff for the first part of the film. Maybe it was funny a little bit, maybe it was interesting, maybe it was good mystery right away. But then it just kind of keeps figuring out the mystery, and it keeps throwing out these little jokes, and it just gets old after a while. And so I think that, with its regular, I think with the way that it handles everything just being regulated with, joke, joke, joke. Oh, let's go do this thing, try and figure out this mystery this way, do that thing. It just gets going on forever. I was, kind of looking at the time, I don't have my phone on or anything, but I was like looking at the running time of the movie. I'm like, man, this has been going on way too long. So once it finally reaches the end and it gets there, uh, it's nice that it kind of brings it all together and everything. But I just think the way that it handles it is is prolonged, and that it could have kept it moving a little bit quicker, or it could have cut out some things and it would have made just as much sense, and they could have spent a little bit more time telling different jokes and stuff. I mean, like, it really is surviving on the vulgarity and everything. um my last point is a little hard to explain, but I'm going to try. And I think the best example I can come up with is at the beginning, when JJ introduces himself to his father for the first time, really, after so long. I think they said it's been 20 years or something like that. That they have this conversation. JJ kind of lays out why he needs help, why he's come to see his father and everything. And along the way, the conversation is very awkward. It's very rehearsed. It's very much for the movie. It's not like, really excited to see each other. It's not what normal people would say after seeing each other after 20 years. And the second that uh, the father, Sam Jackson, ends up saying MFer to JJ, that's where it lost me. That whole scene just got ruined when Sam Jackson dropped an MF. I was like, come on, man. Like, this is your son from 20 years ago that you haven't seen all this time. You've tried to, give him a gift once a year, but otherwise you have no connection whatsoever. And you're going to call him what you call everyone. Like, come on. Like, and he dropped an N word. I mean, I just was like, come on. Like, I, I just was disgusted by the whole scene. And then the rest of the movie, the way people interacted with each other, the way people's characters tried to develop or change or befit the situation, I just thought was completely unruly. And, like, JJ's character goes from little preppy boy to badass by the end of the movie, and it's not a flowing transition. It's just not. And the stuff that he does and the stuff that he says, it's just opposite of what he should be doing. He just does the other thing. And it's great that they figure out what they figure out. It's great that they, do what they do, but I just thought that everything was very rehearsed. It was very, stale. And, when the jokes are delivered, everyone around me that maybe it was a little bit more, you know, not so expecting that much out of this movie, they were really laughing at the jokes. And I laughed at a couple, but not at all of them. So I think with everything that happens in this movie and the way that it's delivered, I didn't have high expectations, but I kind of got some high expectations as I was watching. So I'm gonna give Shaft a C. I just didn't get it what I wanted out of it, and it didn't. It had some good start, but it couldn't keep it going, and that's just the definition of a mediocre movie to me. So I'm gonna give a C to Shaft, and if you want to see this and laugh your butt off at some really simple things, then have fun. But it's just not what I go to a movie for. So thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give something to watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Thanks.